Okay, guys, repeat. You can understand this really well. Okay, so for the tools for this project, we use Kdenlive and FFmpeg. Kdenlive is a free video editing software. And yeah, and FFmpeg is a command line tool that makes like trimming and all that a lot easier. And then for a brief overview of how we do everything, first we have our movie file, which is an MP4 format. We take that, we trim it down into 5-minute clips so that's easier to work with. After that, we take each clip individually, watch it, look for a good face scene. And then once we get that, we want to make sure it's 6 seconds. If it's more than 6 seconds, that's fine. We'll take that too. And then we add padding around it so that we're well focused onto the face. And then our final step, we use a script that utilizes FFmpeg, and that will automatically resize that. And so overall, it seems really easy, but like in actual practice, there's a lot of like small little things that come in the way. So I would say the hardest part from the RA's end is understanding what's a good face frame, because there's a lot of different face a lot of different face scenes that you get. Sometimes you'll get like a face that's moving across the frame. And so like, how do you capture that to minimize background space? You also don't want faces where there's like a character and there's a secondary character on the side, because that's distracting. You only want one face. So I'd say that's the hardest part. And then also sometimes in the last step, when we use our script to take step 2 and resize it, sometimes we get, sometimes the script doesn't work. It's not 100% foolproof. And so that's when we need to use Kdenlive and manually resize it. And then, yeah. But I show the videos as well. Okay. So to kind of go through the video of how we do this, I'll talk y'all through this. So first, here I have FFmpeg installed, and we have our 500 Days of Summer, our movie file. And what we'll essentially do is, I'm just 2 times speed. So here I'm just showing you that this is our movie file full. Okay, so over here, up here into the search bar, we're just going to type in CMD, and that will open command line for us. And then we're going to go into the original doc that I have, and you're going to take this command and paste it onto CMD. You can also call it terminal. And yeah, you want to make sure you change the input where it says input. You want to have your movie file name onto that. And open CMD, and you will paste it. Also, one more note to make: when you type in CMD to the search bar, you want to make sure you're in the folder where your movie file is, so that we can accurately access that. And then after that, you just type that command, and it trims for you into 5-minute clips, really easy. So this is like the easiest step in the entire process. It's like you can get it done in 5 minutes. And then we go to our more time-consuming steps, but important.
Comment here. So this is the time we can get an understanding of how the command line tools works here. So basically, for a lot of work, we're doing the nowadays terminal. It's assembly or terminal, that's the same thing. If you use a Mac, that's terminal. If you use a Windows, that's consent part. But the thing is, they don't have a GUI. So basically, write the script, just use like typing command to the terminal to work with the software. This is fast. Without GUI, that's much faster. And when we need to work with the server, you want to use SSH to connect to the server. And getting familiar with how the command line tools works is also important for other type of work. So this is the for FFmpeg, how to install that. You will keep this is more like a just the first step, and just a simple thing, but if you are interested, you can go from there. You can see, learn more about Bash, learn more about like the command line, learn about like the pip, and learn about more Python. So this is something like opens the door. So based on whether you want it or where you want it.
Okay, and now on to step 2, where we crop our videos. Yeah. So over here, you have all your 5-minute clips from the movie. One here. Okay, and so you're going to open Kdenlive, and you will essentially just click on your video file that's 5 minutes and just drag it onto this space over here. And yeah, over here, you want to make sure you click these specific settings because we want to maintain our FPS rate, which is something that's important. Then you're just going to take that, drag it over to over here. Yeah. And then over here, you have two monitors where you can watch your movie. And what you're essentially just going to do is just watch this. You can like watch the movie while you're doing this. Watch the movie until you get like a good face scene. I'm gonna skip ahead, but guys, okay. I've almost located a good face scene. Okay, here. So over here, I found a good face scene. I'm gonna pause it. I'm gonna add a marker, which helps me note the starting position. And I'm just watching it to make sure it's 6 seconds. So a little note here, over here, there's like the little time, so you can make sure it's 6 seconds. That helps. And then I'm gonna add another marker to the end, so I know where the ending point is of that 6 second. And then this is an optional step, but no, this is actually required, my bad. You can trim it here. No, you're supposed to trim it here. And then this is the optional step, dragging it out. I just do it to make it look cleaner. And then you're going to type in effects. We're looking for the cropping effect, specifically crop, scale, and tilt. Drag that onto your specific 6 second frame. And then over here, so once you, wait, let's start slow down. So once you drag the effects onto your 6 second frame, over here, you'll play around. And when you play around with this, you will see it over here pop up. So just give it some time. Okay, let's see if we can do this. I'm just playing around with the settings here to crop it onto her face. So like left, right, top, bottom, I think that's intuitive.
It's not playing.
Oh. Yeah, and then after I do that, I play the video just to make sure throughout the entire 6 seconds, she's within the box. And then this is an important step. Don't forget this. Go back to the top. I don't know what it's called, but basically you're going to take this and drag it over the selected region that you want to output so that when we're rendering this, or when we're rendering from here, we only get that 6 second file, 6 second frame outputted as a file. And then you're just going to click project in the top, render, type in the location you want it to type it into, put in the name of your file. And also really important step, this is somewhere I've noticed a lot of people mess up, but at the end of your file, you want to make sure you type in .mp4, otherwise it won't render properly and you'll find this out in the end of the process and you'll be like, oh my gosh, all these movies, I get quite excited. Oh yeah, and make sure you click selected zone, that's another important. Over here, click selected zone so that only that selected zone renders. If you click full project, the entire movie file will render. And you can right click and it will take you to where your file is, location. You can click it, watch it. This is not the final product yet, this is step 2. But yeah, that is pretty much the end of step 2. Okay, now step 3. So this is step 3. We want to use the script. And over here, essentially, in the first few seconds of this video, I show you how to create your script. You're basically just going to open a notepad. You're going to copy all that, the entire script from the original document I have. And you're going to save it with the name remove padding.bat. You can honestly name it anything. The most important thing is that you end it off with the .bat extension. So here I'm just copying the script and pasting it onto the notepad. Copying the name, remove padding.bat. Saving the file. This one a few times. And you don't create once you create the script, you can reuse it each time. So yeah, so over here I've created the script and it shows over here, it has this little icon and that's how you know your script was created properly. And so what I'll basically do is up here, numbered clip 24, 25, 26, those are all my step 2 files from earlier. And I'll just click that remove padding file. And what that script basically does, it runs through all the MP4 files in that very same folder. And it basically trims out the black padding and also resizes that middle, the video into the middle of the clip. So it's just running through. This is also a really easy step. The hardest part of the step is, well, not the hardest part. You have to make sure after you do the step, you review all your clips because again, this script is not 100% foolproof, and that's when the manual crop will come in. Okay. Oh yeah, and when you it also outputs with the original name underscore cropped, so that's helpful reference. So as you can see here, the cropped face is now resized and ideal. Okay, and that was the step 2, how it looked for. So this is the final. And this is step 2 that we started with. Okay. Okay, here. So over here, I'm just showing that I'm kind of reviewing the clips and trying to show you guys a bad example of a crop that did not work as expected. So if you take this clip over here, this went through the script, but clearly the forehead was cut out, the chin is a bit cut out. Now for these clips, you need to do the manual crop of step 3. The automated script is not sufficient. So here's the original of that. It clearly did not crop as well. And this usually happens, I've noticed, for clips that are like really dark. So I guess it's hard for it to distinguish doing the edges. So that's something to know. Manual. I can also show you guys the manual crop. So this is the manual crop for if your step 3 does not work with the script. I'm going to take that clip, step 2, and I'm just showing again, I'm running the script on it, and it doesn't crop correctly. And so I need to manually do that. Okay, and so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna open Kdenlive again, drag it on over there, bring it down up here. And then we're gonna go to effects and type in transform. Drag that over our movie file, clip video file. And it will basically open the setting. And what you're essentially gonna do, okay, yeah. Yeah. You're gonna literally manually take that and you drag it onto the center. And then after you do that, you're gonna have to play around with the scaling feature and you're gonna scale it out yourself. So the hardest part of this, I would say, is just because you're doing it with your eye. So something that you can do that helps is taking a ruler to your laptop and just physically measuring it after you're done. It's really annoying, but that's how you get it into the center correctly. And yeah, and then after that, it's just rendering this file. So click project. Oh yeah, and there's a little enlarging feature up here. You want it full screen while you're editing. So you can see over here, there's still a lot of black space. It's not really centered. Okay, and then you can exit out of that, and then I'm just rendering this file over here. Okay. Now we have our final clip. Okay, that summarizes everything.
That's down.